From Veterans Field in Chatham, YD looking to rebound following a loss yesterday. They've been pretty good about that all season long. The Red Sox still sitting 2.5 games clear of first place in the East Division. They take on a Chatham Anglers team filled with new faces around the field and in the dugout as the Red Sox make their second visit of the season to Veterans Field here in Chatham. Luke West Poley, Perri Kitei alongside Perri. Yesterday, YD gets walked off against Hyannis. First time they were at McKeon Park all season long. It was a game that the Red Sox led for most of the way before eventually dropping it. But the moral that we could take away from the game last night, the YD bats really cooled off after that 6th inning, and the Red Sox could not have anything to show for it afterwards. That proved to be the difference in the loss.
Honestly, Luke, I think it was more a credit to Hyannis' pitching than YD's batting. Yesterday, Hyannis' relief pitching was just phenomenal. They came in, the last 6 batters for YD all struck out. Hyannis was just pounding the zone pitcher after pitcher. They brought in a guy from UPenn who was a big part of their almost run in the NCAA tournament. And they just looked really, really good. The game felt close the whole time. YD had a 3-1 lead for a long time, but Hyannis left the bases stranded once. A second time, they got one across with the bases loaded. It just felt like they were knocking on the door the whole time, and then finally they came around and walked it off in the 9th. It just felt like it was bound to happen the whole time. But YD, as you said, has been a bounce-back team all season, hasn't lost twice since early June, so really excited to see what happens here. Last time at Veterans Field, Hunter Hines had, I think, the longest home run of the season in the Cape League, went 429 feet over the cars on the other side of the road, so could be a repeat.
Chatham, this is his 5th appearance of the year, 2nd start. These YD Red Sox, he is a fastball splitter heavy pitcher who also throws a little bit of that slider to righties, but it will be a lefty starting things off at the plate for YD as Enzo Apodaca is back into the lineup for the Red Sox, the first time he has made his way into the start in a couple of nights. Righty on lefty, third base crept in, that's Aiden Miola. Peterson winds up in the first pitch home. Is a called strike, sliding into the top part of the zone, and we are underway at 7:02 p.m. It's 0-1 to Enzo Apodaca in the second meeting at Veterans Field between Chatham and YD. 0-1 pitch, here comes. That one sinks down low, 1 ball, 1 strike, 94 miles an hour on the gun that time from Peterson, and the count is even. Packed house as always here at Veterans Field, one of the great Cape League experiences here in Chatham. 1-1 offering. Breaks outside, 2-1.
Nice to see Apodaca back in the lineup. He's been noticeably absent the past couple of games. YD's had a few guys out due to injury, but Apodaca was not one of those, at least to our knowledge. And today in the leadoff spot, he hasn't been there all season.
2-1 pitch. And he takes at the bottom part of the zone for strike 2. Apodaca, a guy that it feels like has been in the lineup for a couple nights, then out of the lineup for a couple nights, and has kind of fluctuated back and forth all season, but his bat has been good for YD. In a 2-2 count, leading the game off. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with the splitter, and that's the first out of the inning. .88 miles an hour on the gun. Perri, you and I have seen firsthand all season long on the YD side of things what a nasty splitter looks like. And Hector Garcia, who had been nearly untouchable that time, Peterson gets the swing and miss. And now Brady Day, the 246 hitter, in the lefty box. First pitch on the way. And it's snapped outside for ball 1. Day, the 12th round pick of the Atlanta Braves, hit a home run in his first at bat following the draft. 1-0 pitch, outside for ball 2. Base is empty with 1 out. Top of the first inning and no score between YD and Chatham. The wind, the kick, the pitch. Drops down low, and it's 3 balls and no strikes. Chatham, a team that currently sits 6-15-1, and in their second game under acting manager Marty Lees, who was announced yesterday that he will be leading this team the rest of the way. 3-0 pitch comes in. And it's outside for ball 4. Brady Day, a one-out base runner for YD. He works the walk. That brings in Hunter Hines, batting in a rare 3-hole for him. The DH out of Mississippi State, hitting .284 on the year with 9 home runs and 30 driven in.
Yesterday, batted in the 2-hole. He's really been the cleanup hitter the whole season. Interesting to see Coach Pickler moving things around in the lineup.
First time we will see Ben Peterson out of the stretch. Small lead on first, leaning back toward the bag. Now the pitch drops down low for ball 1, 90 miles an hour that time from Peterson. No score between the Red Sox and the Anglers. 1-0 count to Hunter Hines. 5 straight balls for Ben Peterson following the leadoff strikeout. He steps off. He's thrown 10 pitches so far in this inning. Has recorded 1 out. From the first base side of the rubber, he lifts the front toe and sets it back down. Now the 1-0 pitch drops down and in for ball 2. And now we will see a visit out from Jaden Melendez. Peterson, an 8.1 ERA this season. Through 10 innings pitched, he has struck out 6. Senior out of Cary, North Carolina. Last pitched on July 3rd. His first shutout outing of the season against the Harwich Mariners in a 10-6 win. Gave up just 1 hit over 3 innings of work, got the save. Also struck out 4 in that time. 2 balls, no strikes to Hunter Hines. And pitch. Lifted up in the air, foul on the left side. And it's 2-1.
With every swing from Hines, you can hear the anticipation in the crowd. Everyone in here drew in a deep breath, but that ball just flew behind us.
2-1 the count. High set for Peterson. Now he throws, and this one is jammed out towards right center field. Coming around it, McDonald at the warning track, and he makes the catch for out number 1. Perri, that ball looked like it was an infield pop-up off the bat. It ended up at the warning track in right center. Now there's 2 gone.
That just shows you the power off Hines' bat. That ball was missed contact, and it still almost got out of the park. If that was down the right field line, it would have gotten out of the park. It was out in center field, probably still went about 360 feet at least.
Went to the warning track left of the 357 sign in right center. The batter, Xander Darby, runner on first, 2 gone. Pitch on the way, runner goes. Pitch bounces in, and there will be no chance for Melendez to get the runner as Brady Day moves into scoring position. 1-0 count to Xander Darby, who looks to untie this game, currently 0-0. Top of the first. Darby's been seeing it well lately. Yesterday he was 1 for 3 with a walk and a base hit. 1-0 pitch, check swing, the appeal to third, and they'll say, home plate umpire rather, says he went around. That's strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike to Xander Darby. 2-step lead over on second from Brady Day. Now pitch. Lifted up, middle of the infield, coming over from second. Martin Grudzelanek called off by the shortstop, and Fabian, falling backward, makes the catch to retire the side. Brady Day stranded in scoring position, and YD puts up 4 batters to the plate, but does not score in the top of the first inning. Chatham hits for the first time when we come back. You're listening to YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Last of the first inning here from Veterans Field. Luke Poley with Perri Kitei. Xavier Casarilla, the right fielder, leads off for Chatham against Finnegan Wall, who makes yet another start for YD. 6'2", 205-pound right-hander out of UC Irvine. Winds and fires the first pitch. And it's in there, strike one, 85 miles an hour on the breaking ball. On the inner half, Finnegan Wall 0-1 record this year through 4 starts, 3.7 ERA. In 17 innings pitched, 0-1 offering. Called strike 2 on the inner corner. No balls, 2 strikes. He struck out 21 and walked 10 over those 17 innings thrown. His last time out through a season-high 5 innings against the Bourne Braves. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 88 miles an hour and got it by him for the first out of the inning.
Opposite start from Wall than we saw the last time YD was here. That was Nick Judas. Got off to a bit of a slow start, similarly to Ben Peterson, 6 balls in a row in the top half for Chatham, but Finnegan Wall throwing gas here for the first out of the inning.
Still no score as Caden Kent makes his way in. The DH hitting in the 2-hole for Marty Lees. Then the first pitch is popped up behind home plate and foul. 0-1. Kent hitting .317. He's been pretty successful. He's batting 1,000 as well this year against Finnegan Wall. Next pitch on the way, and that one dives down and in. 1 ball, 1 strike.
He's hit really well against YD in general, 4 for 11 with a walk. That's good for a .364 average.
The wind, the lift, and the deal. Drops down and in, 2 balls and a strike. Kent out of Texas A&M, native of Austin, Texas. 265 for the Aggies this season. Righty on lefty. Finnegan Wall facing a 2-1 count on the bump. The pitch. Swing and a lifter out of play on the left side. 2-2. Base is empty with 1 out in the bottom of the first. And 0-0 our score. Tons of people here in Chatham. As per usual. YD shifted on the right side of the infield with Brady Day backed up into right. The 2-2. Drops down low near the shoot tops and the count is full. Three balls and 2 strikes. Long hold, now into the windup. Here's the pitch. Swinging a liner over to the right side. Brady Day picks it up on a hop in right field and throws out the runner at first for the 4-3 putout. 2 gone in the bottom of the first.
Brady Day in the perfect place for that, was slightly out in right field. We've seen Coach Pickler go to that shift a lot, and with the power coming off the bat of Kent, off the 1-hop, Day had plenty of time to get it over to first, really well positioned for that putout.
Would have been a tough play if he was in a normal spot. May not have been able to get to it. Another lefty into the box. That's Nolan Schubert, the left fielder. Base is empty, 2 out. First pitch on the way. And he cranks it foul on the right side. That one rolls over to the sidewall, and it's 0-1. Scoreless, hitless game. YD had 1 base runner in the top of the first. That was Brady Day, who worked a quick walk and was stranded on second. 0-1 pitch. Fastball in the outer half at 91, called strike 2. YD bringing the shift in once again. 3 on the right side, 1 on the left. Xander Darby making his way over to the right of the second base bag from third. Well, his pitch D get them a pair of outs, and Chatham goes 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first inning. 5, 6, 7 due up. Jenkins, Coward, Kling, and Cook. When we come back, you're listening to YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Scoreless through one, top of the second inning here from Chatham. And Jacob Jenkins-Cowart, the left-handed swinger out of East Carolina, leads off for YD. Jenkins-Cowart facing off against Ben Peterson. Didn't give up a hit in the first, issued one walk, but pitched his way around it for a scoreless frame. First pitch on the way. Jenkins-Cowart takes a fastball in the outer half for strike one. 93 miles an hour from Ben Peterson, the right-hander out of UNC. Hovers in that low to mid-90s range with the fastball. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Might have been the splitter that time that he threw at 87. And he had Jenkins-Cowart out in front. It's 0-2.
Jenkins-Cowart, the East Carolina Pirate, he missed 2 weeks with injury. Made his return a couple nights ago, went 3 for 4.
0-2 bounces in, a ball and 2 strikes. He was 0 for 3 yesterday, but like you mentioned, the big day his first time back a couple of nights ago against Harwich. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jacob. Low crouch in the lefty box. The arm hang from Peterson. Now he's got the ball in the glove from the wind. Here comes the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Breaking ball in the dirt. Got him to chase. That's the second strikeout. And the second straight leadoff man retired by Peterson via the K. Paxton Kling will now hit with the bases empty and 1 out in a game that remains scoreless.
Kling had his first home run of the season yesterday. Just finished up his freshman year at LSU. Played in 57 games. National championship to go along with it.
First pitch to Kling. And he grounds it up the middle towards second. It comes up on the wrist, but Martin Grudzelanek has it and throws to first for the out. That is a mouthful over at second. Martin Grudzelanek, second baseman for Chatham, gives the 4-3 putout, and there are 2 gone here in the second. Peterson trying to work a quick inning. Batter standing in his way is Casey Cook. First pitch to him on the way. Cook takes outside, the fastball at 93 for ball 1.
Martin Grudzelanek won the absolute genetic lottery. His mom played softball at UCLA. His father, Mark, played in the MLB for 15 years.
1-0 pitch. Drops down and in, ball 2.
For those of you that are not avid college softball fans, UCLA is one of the powerhouses of the sport. One of the most historically successful teams, especially back in the 90s when his mom would have been playing.
2-0, lifted in the air, shallow left field. Schubert has a beat on it, trotting in, and he makes the catch with one hand to retire the side. YD goes in order in the top of the second. We remain scoreless from Veterans Field in Chatham. Back in a moment. You're listening to YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Bottom of the second inning here from Chatham. Trace Wilhoit, the first baseman, leads off after the Anglers went down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first inning. Finnegan Wall returning to it, lifts the knee and throws home. The pitch dives in the other batter's box, a ball and no strikes. Will Hoyt appearing for just the second time. He's 0 for 1 this season. 1-0 pitch. And he takes just down low. 2 balls, no strikes. Rocking no batting gloves. A noticeably large black elbow guard that matches the shin pad. 2-0 the count. The wind and the pitch. Pushed foul. Golfed at it down low there, and it's 2-1.
Will Hoyt has bounced around a little bit from Georgetown, Kentucky. Attended Northwest Florida State Junior College before making his way over to Lipscomb.
2-1. Pops it foul into the screen, and it's 2-2. Will Hoyt finishing his sophomore year for the Lipscomb Bison. He's got an orange band around his bat as the 2-2 comes in. Check swing. Ball comes up high. Popped out of the glove there of Connor Dykstra, but no harm done as there are no runners on base. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 0-0 our score. Still yet to see our first hit from either side in this game. Only 1 base runner from either team. Brady Day was that man. He walked back in the first inning for YD. The payoff pitch. Down low for ball 4, and there's your second base runner. A walk on the other side as Trace Will Hoyt works it on 6 pitches.
Now batting for Chatham, the center fielder from Miami University.
The Achilles heel in YD losses this season has been free passes. Yesterday, YD pitching gave up 3 hit-by pitches and a couple of walks on top of that. So if they could keep that number low today, that will be the most important factor in winning.
Zach McDonald at the plate, the center fielder for Chatham. Out of Miami University, the first pitch rides high for ball 1.
The Red Hawks.
The Red Hawks sticking around for Miami. Will return under a new coaching staff next year. 1-0 pitch on the way. And it's in there for strike 1. Very proud program, of course. They'll be led by Brian Smiley, who is the architect of a really strong pitching staff at Indiana State, a group of 5 team that was, or a mid-major, I should say, that was in the top 25 pretty much the whole year. Would have hosted a super regional if it wasn't for some scheduling issues. The 1-1 lifted in the air foul, and it's 1-2. YD no longer has their MAC representation as Nathan Archer was released today. McDonald, the only Mid-American Conference guy for either of these teams. Runner on first, the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And McDonald goes down. Finnegan Wall bounces back with his second strikeout. And now Aiden Miola, the Oklahoma State Cowboy, will try to push this runner forward for Chatham. Man on first with 1 away in the bottom of the second. Scoreless and hitless between YD and Chatham. Brady Day moves over almost right behind second base, a little bit to the right of it as the first pitch comes in. And it rises high for ball 1. 82 miles an hour from Finnegan Wall.
Miola is one of a couple Oklahoma State guys on the team thanks to some Oklahoma State connections in the coaching staff. The former coaching staff now, Tom Holliday.
1-0. Drops down low for ball 2. Yesterday was announced the resignation of Holliday, coached the last few years here in Chatham. The resignation due to some personal health issues he was facing, so Marty Lees has taken over as the acting manager of the Anglers. This is his second game in that role. 2 balls, no strikes. Pitch to Miola. Swing and a fly ball out towards right field. Trotting in on it, Apodaca mid-outfield makes the catch. Runner retreats to first and 2 gone.
Now batting for Chatham, the second baseman from USC, number 56, Bryce Martin Rudzalanek.
Roster looks very different for Chatham than it did the first time these two teams met. It was pretty evident right after YD came here that there were going to be some pretty serious changes made to this roster and a Chatham team that was struggling but still not out of it. Martinez Grudzalanek standing in as the pickoff move goes over to first and does not generate an out. But for Chatham, they started to recruit some new faces. They're going to continue to do that with 4 out of 5 teams in the division making the playoffs as the first pitch comes in. It's called a strike at the letters, 0-1. They're only a couple of games out of it behind the Brewster Whitecaps. So despite the struggles that the Anglers have had this season, you sneak into the playoffs, that's all that matters. Then you can make some noise come August. And that's the goal right now for this Chatham squad. Save face and sneak into the playoffs. So one dives down and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner on first with 2 away. YD 0, Chatham 0. Second time the Red Sox have been here at Veterans Field. They were victorious their first time out. 1-1. Grounder over towards short, fielded on the forehand by Jackson. He goes to second to get the lead runner, and it's in time to end the inning. A leadoff walk does not advance past first, and YD remains tied with Chatham at 0 as we head to the third. Stay tuned. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Zero zero our score, front end of the third inning from Veterans Field here in Chatham, Massachusetts. East Division clash between the division leading Whitey Red Sox and the team at the bottom of the East, the Chatham Anglers. Ryan Jackson at the plate, first pitch. High at eye level, 4-1. Shortstop out of USC, hitting .272, 3 for his first 11 here on Cape. Wasn't in the lineup yesterday. 1-0 pitch. Swings at it, lifts it in the air, right side, foul ground, tailing away from the field of play. Gets over the sidewall. 1 ball and 1 strike to Ryan Jackson. Twirls the bat. Rocking the red and gold, maroon and gold, representing USC. 1-1 pitch. And he takes up high for ball 2. 27 pitches so far for Ben Peterson, 13 strikes, 14 balls. He's only issued 1 walk, though, has retired the other 6 batters he's faced. 2-1 pitch to Jackson. Swing and a miss. Jackson way out in front of that one at 87. And the count is even, 2-2. Whitey went in order in the last inning. The Red Sox only base runner has been Brady Day. From the wind, the 2-2. Looping breaking ball doesn't fall down. It's above the head for ball 3. Count is full against Ryan Jackson. A breath, and now the pitch. Fastball lined up the middle, base hit. Good piece of hitting from Ryan Jackson as he takes the high fastball and shoots it right back where it came from. The first hit of the game for either team comes to lead off the top of the third from the USC Trojan, and that will bring in Connor Dykstra with a runner on first and nobody out.
That's the kind of hitting I've come to expect from Ryan Jackson. He's been quiet the past couple games in the lineup, really solid in the field, but his first game in a YD uniform, he had 2 hits. Both of them look pretty similar to that.
Runner on first with nobody out. Dykstra's last time here, he hit his first home run of the season. Pitch to the catcher, and it hit him. We've learned over the last couple of days to take an extra second before saying that hit him. Might have looked like it went off his bat there, but that did indeed catch body. And that flips it to the top of the order. First time really either team is threatened, as now the leadoff man is up. Enzo Apodaca, he's 0 for 1. First and second, nobody out. YD trying to break a scoreless tie here in the top of the third. Righty on lefty. First pitch, Apodaca squares to bunt. He pulls it back. The pitch sails high for ball one. Enzo's batting average north of 280, but has only driven in 5 batters this season, in part due to the fact that he's mostly hitting near the top of the lineup. The 1-0, bunt is popped up down the first base side, but drops foul. And it's a ball and a strike. First and second, nobody out with an even 1-1 count to Enzo Apodaca. Still yet to announce a transfer home after a couple of years at Gonzaga. Apodaca in the portal, looking for a new place to play. The 1-1, bunt is up, bunt is down. Up the third base line to the left of the mound. The pickup and the throw is just in time from Peterson to beat out Apodaca. He definitely got him, but it was only by about a quarter step. Looked like he struggled to get that ball off the turf, but regardless, Apodaca does his job on the sacrifice. Runners move to second and third with one out, and Brady Day at the dish for YD.
Peterson did fumble that for a second, and I thought Apodaca might have had a step, but the throw was just fast enough over to first that it beat him out. We have seen some infield singles on bunts from this team.
First pitch swung on and missed by Brady Day on the 85-mile-an-hour splitter for strike one. Second and third, one out. 0-0 our score. Brady Day looking for RBIs to increase his total, currently sitting at 6 on the year. The 0-1 pitch, and he lines it foul on the left side up the third base line. Was late on the fastball there, and it's 0-2. Brady walked his first time up. Behind in the count 0-2, middle infield pushed back for Chatham. Corners are level with the bags. At first maybe a little bit more backed up as Will Hoyt a step or two behind it. 0-2 to the lefty. Swing and a foul tip and into the glove of Melendez behind the plate. That's strike three as Brady Day out in front of an 81-mile-an-hour breaking ball there from Peterson. Got a very small piece of it you could hear, but ended up in the leather of Jaden Melendez. And there are 2 gone in the inning. Hunter Hines hits for YD. Flew out to right center field his last time up. The first pitch to the lefty slugger on the way. Bounces in for ball one, squeezed between the legs of Melendez. He springs to his feet and pump fakes a throw towards third, but does not release the ball. It's a 1-0 count to Hunter Hines, who last time kind of got jammed and still nearly hit it out of the park. The 1-0. Drops down low, 2 balls, no strikes. Talked about the home run already, Perri. It was also a grand slam, and now looks like maybe an intentional walk has been issued to Hines partway through the at-bat. Or are they going to say maybe that pitch hit him? Regardless, he's going to be put on first. So that'll load the bases. And he was indeed intentionally walked. Chatham deciding not to play with Hunter Hines after last time. You remember they fell behind in the count against him, gave him something over the plate in a 3-1 count. He blasted it over the right field fence. They're loaded now for Xander Darby, who popped out to short his first time up. First pitch to him, and he lines it left side up the line, foul, and it's 0-1.
Well, Luke, you could tell that Ben Peterson was clearly pitching around the zone for Hines, showing fear against the power hitter, and if you're going to pitch around the zone, you might as well walk him intentionally.
Don't want to risk anything getting by your catcher Melendez with the go-ahead run just 90 feet away. They're loaded with 2 outs in a scoreless game, and the 0-1 to Xander Darby comes in. Swinging a high chopper towards short. It is fielded nearly on the bag, twirling around. Fabian will step on it at second to retire Hines, and the fielder's choice by Darby ends the inning. YD leaves them loaded in the top of the third. We remain scoreless as Chatham tries to break this scoreless draw when we come back. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Back in a moment. 0-0 last of the third here from Veterans Field in Chatham. Luke West Poley, Perri Kitei alongside. Red Sox left him loaded in the top of the inning. Finnegan Wall back up against Jaden Melendez, who hits for the first time out of the 8-hole. First pitch to the righty catcher. And he takes outside, 88 on the gun for ball 1. Melendez 0 for 0 this season. The junior out of Miami, Florida. 1-0 pitch. Shoveled low, 2 balls, no strikes. This is his first appearance of the year, 5'9", 185. Plays for Pitt. 2-0 pitch on the way. And he lifts it up in the air, right side of the infield. Brady Day floating over on it from second and makes the catch just about a couple feet into right field for out number 1. YD familiar with a Miami native that plays for the Pitt Panthers, Matt Fernandez, former Red Sox pitcher from this year. Also from the Sunshine State, playing his college ball for the Panthers. Now the batter, Derek Fabian. The first pitch to him. Pops it up on the right side, racing over on it from first. Casey Cook watches that drop out of play. Interesting, Perri, that Casey Cook gets the start at first base. He's been mostly in right field for Scott Pickler's group. But with the amount of shakeup this roster's seen around the MLB draft, he's moved over to the right side of the infield. 0-1 is tapped foul.
Cook has been really consistently in the lineup, and I think Coach Pickler just wanted to give him a chance to prove himself. He's been getting really solid contact at the plate, but hasn't been able to find the gaps, and I think Pick just wants him in the lineup to finally get those hits and grow his confidence a little bit. He was put at first base yesterday as a late defensive move when Nathan Archer moved to right field.
0-2 just outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. He's also been one of YD's best defensive players throughout the season. Out of UNC's made some highlight reel plays out and right. 1-2 to Fabian. Swinging a foul tip, and it's squeezed by Dykstra. That's a strikeout for out number 2. The third by Finnegan Wall through 2 2/3. Still 0-0 as it goes back to the top of the order with 2 outs. Xavier Casarillo was a strikeout victim his first time up. First pitch to him. And he takes a breaking ball upstairs at 80 miles an hour for ball 1. Just didn't fall enough. Casarilla out of Seminole State College. 1-0 pitch. And a high hopper leaping up. Finnegan Wall makes the grab and throws over to first. Casey Cook with the stretch. And that is secured for out number 3. Athletic play by the YD pitcher. And the Anglers go 1-2-3 in the bottom of the third. Not much action to report thus far. It's still 0-0 between the Anglers and the Red Sox as we head to the middle innings. 4th inning coming up next here on the Cape League Broadcast Network.
Top of the 4th, YD back at the plate is Jacob Jenkins Cowart leading off. The ECU left fielder struck out swinging his first time around. Was 0 for 3 yesterday, has been inconsistent but streaky at the plate. When he's on. Steps back into the box, wiggling that black bat. First pitch on the way, below the knees for ball 1. Jenkins Cowart has a really tall frame standing at 6'5", but when he's in that box, he crouches down, really loads up in the legs. The 1-0 on the way, grounded up the middle, coming over. Martin Grudzelanek makes a throw in time off the backhand, and that's out number 1.
Now batting the center fielder, number 14, Paxton Kling.
Brings up Paxton Kling. He also grounded out his first time around. Chatham has this middle infield pinched in towards second, particularly Martin Grudzelanek is shaded towards the bag, and that's worked out really well for them. A couple of these balls that might have been able to sneak through have been picked up off the backhand. First pitch to Kling falls at the top of the zone. 87 miles per hour for strike 1.
Yeah, I was going to say, for Jenkins Cowart, you refer to the streakiness. When he's on, that hit he just had is going to squeak through for him. That's kind of been the difference for him.
The 0-1 grounded up towards second once again. Martin Grudzelanek, an identical play, an identical out. That's 2 gone quickly in the top of the 4th.
See if you can make Ben Peterson work for this a little bit more. As you're into the 4th inning now, you wouldn't like to see him go much longer if you're YD. He's only up to 45 pitches through 3 2/3. You'd like to stretch these at-bats out a little bit longer.
First pitch on the way to Cook. Drops in there for strike 1. Cook 0 for 1 with a pop out. Wiggling the tan bat in the lefty box. The 0-1 swung on and missed. Cook, I think, thought that was dropping. Instead, it just floated up at the top of the zone around his shoulders, and he's down 0-2 with 2 gone. Peterson takes a deep breath, resets himself into the kick. The pitch outside, bounces in the dirt. It's 1-2. Peterson is not a strikeout-heavy pitcher, only had 6 of them coming into today. He has had a couple against YD, but mostly just forces the soft contact. The 1-2 on the way falls away once again. 2-2. Peterson delivers. Cook fouls it back into the net to stay alive in the at-bat, making Peterson work a little bit harder for this one than Kling and Jenkins Cowart. YD is a very aggressive team at the plate. They like to go after it early in the count. They're not going to wait on it. The 2-2 lined foul up the third base side. Ryan Jackson, the shortstop, on deck. Chatham today wearing the white pinstripes, the classics, another 2-2 away, and Casey Cook has the count full after going down 0-2. YD just 1 hit today. Chatham has been no hit so far. The payoff, swung on softly up towards second. Martin Grudzelanek tosses it over to first just in time, charged it, and that's 4-3 putouts in the 4th. This one is flying by. We head to the bottom of the 4th at Veterans Field on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Bottom of the fourth at Veterans Field as the sun is about to dip below the horizon. A beautiful golden hue in the sky on a clear night in Chatham. One of few, as Chatham has fallen behind game-wise. All the other teams in the league, they had 3 fog outs just last week. Finnegan Wall still on the mound. First pitch on the way. Drops low. For Caden Kent, his second time around, he grounded up in his first plate appearance. Kent into the wind, the 1-0 line towards right field. Apodaca charging in on it and makes the grab on the run. Apodaca, another outfielder who's been spectacular defensively for YD. I thought that one had a chance at dropping, but with him stationed out there, it's really hard to get one past, and that's out number 1.
And that's, I think, another aspect of the shift that maybe you don't think about, but because Brady Day was backed up into shallow right there, if you're Enzo Apodaca, that almost allows you to play a little bit deeper, and you're able to make plays like that because of it. You don't have to cover as much ground in the shallow outfield, and so you can afford to stay back on it a little bit, and the shift helps out the outfielders.
First pitch strike dealt to Nolan Schubert, another Oklahoma State Cowboy. Also grounded out his first time around. Standing in the lefty box, waving the black and tan bat, wiggling it around the 0-1, falls off the plate, 1-1. Schubert was a third-team All-American in 2023 after a really good season. Out in Oklahoma, batted .338, 20 doubles, 17 home runs. The 1-1 on the ground towards third. Darby scoops it. The throw across the diamond in time, scooped out on the backhand by Casey Cook. And that's 2 gone quickly in the bottom of the fourth. Trace Wilhoit, the righty, stepping into the box with the orange cleats, black ankle guard and knee guard. First pitch to him, lined over to Xander Darby in the hot corner. Jumping, makes the grab. That looked a little higher off the bat and floated low. Xander Darby right there to collect. 3 up, 3 down for the Red Sox, and we head to the top of the 5th. It's Perri, Kitei, and Luke West Poley on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Top of the 5th, Chatham versus YD. Finnegan Wall threw a 5-pitch bottom of the 4th. That's the fastest inning we've seen this game, one of the fastest all season. And it's Ryan Jackson in the righty box to start things off. First pitch to him at the shoulders, but drops a little bit at the end into the top of the zone. It's 0-1.
Fastball's got a little bit of life to it for Ben Peterson.
The kick and deal on the ground, soft contact. Peterson has it, will take it himself. That's a 1 unassisted for the first out of the inning. Wilhoit had come over on it. The bag was unprotected, but Peterson beat out Jackson, no problem. Again, forcing the soft contact as he's done all day. We've seen so many on the ground, especially towards second. We haven't really seen YD pulling it towards left field. Connor Dykstra, first pitch. Strike over the inside half of the plate. Dykstra, the catcher out of Chilliwack, British Columbia. Deep breath from Peterson. He delivers. Same spot. Another fastball. It's 0-2. The UNC Tar Heel has also kept his pitch count pretty low, hovering around 60. The 0-2 bounces in the dirt ahead of the plate. Bounces off the chest pad of Melendez, but nobody on base regardless, as Peterson asks for a new ball. Dykstra has been known to chase a little bit around the zone. I wouldn't be surprised to see Peterson go for something low here. Dykstra has gone golfing on a couple of swinging strikeouts. Now set in the box, whittling the bat, the 1-2, and he goes swinging on the pitch, low in the zone. Connor Dykstra is put out, 2 gone in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, that splitter is just filthy. Threw it again at 88 miles an hour, and that's a pitch that's so hard to come in contact with. It's rare to see guys who throw it really well. We mentioned Hector Garcia, a guy on the YD side of things that has thrown very well with the splitter this season, but Peterson has been tearing the Red Sox up a little bit with that split, but now a mound visit, and he's going to exit at 59 pitches.
Peterson, a really solid day. I think this one's just due to pitch count. A lot of these guys have strict pitching limits this summer, either for innings or for individual pitches. Once they get to a certain number, due to restrictions from college teams, they can't pitch anymore. So protecting the longevity of the guys, will have a new pitcher on the mound. We'll take a quick break as he warms up. We'll be back on the Cape League Broadcast Network, top of the 5th. Two gone in the top of the 5th, and we have a new pitcher on the mound. It's Jack Seppings out of Brown, the rare Ivy Leaguer in the Cape League. Going into his senior year, a right-handed thrower. First pitch to Enzo Apodaca sneaks in for strike 1. Apodaca 0 for 2. Struck out swinging, had a sacrifice bunt that advanced 2 runners, none of whom came around to score. It's still scoreless in the top of the 5th. Seppings into the motion. The 0-1 lined towards first base, and Trace Wilhoit gets it by the shoestrings. Another quick 3 and just a couple of pitches for Jack Seppings will retire the side. Halfway through this one, not even an hour of game time yet. We'll be back on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Bottom of the fifth, Finnegan Wall back up there. Just 44 total pitches through 4 innings facing Zach McDonald out of Miami University. And he takes a first pitch strike at the bottom of the zone. The Wall out of UC Irvine, one of a couple anteaters on the team, has been dealing. The second pitch, grounded foul up the third base line. It's 0-2.
Yeah, he's kept his pitch count really low, and especially over these past couple of innings, he's been getting hitters to be aggressive, but he's been getting rollover and soft contact to get out of at-bats quickly.
The 0-2 from Wall. A called strike 3 on the inside half of the plate. Zach McDonald retired on 3 pitches, and Wall in his 5th inning of work is shoving.
Just froze him there. That was 88 miles an hour, fast enough for Finnegan Wall. He doesn't throw super hard, but put that one right over the plate, and McDonald just watched it go right by.
Brings up the 6-hole Aiden Miola. The Oklahoma State Cowboy, first pitch on the way. Check swing, holds off, ball 1. Miola sporting the orange and black elbow guard, arm sleeve, batting gloves, everything representing his collegiate team. Wall into the motion, the 1-0 hammer towards left field, going back to the wall, and it's out of here. Chatham strikes first. Aiden Miola on the solo shot, gets it going. First hit of the game for Chatham, and it's the most important one yet.
Left one over the plate against McDonald, and he didn't swing. And he left one over the plate again there, and Miola blasted it over the left field fence. Maybe a bit of a wake-up call there to Finnegan Wall, who had no hit through 4 1/3. Gives up the deep fly and a pretty hard hit ball at that, and now his team is down.
First pitch on the way to Martin Grudz-Atlantic is inside for strike 1. He was retired on the fielder's choice. It was out number 3 in the inning. The kick and deal from Wall, check swing, did not go around. It's 1-1. Finnegan Wall has finally crossed the 50 pitch mark in the 5th. 1 gone. Chatham now leads 1-0. Wall into the motion. He fires at the shoulders, ball 2, excuse me. It's 2-1. A mostly evenly spaced infield, Brady Day shaded towards the bag at second. The biggest hole in the infield is in the 4-3 spot. The 2-1 lined into left field, but drops foul. And the count evens up 2-2. Really nice contact from Martin Grudz-Atlantic, but flew beyond fair territory. Could have spelled extra bases if it could find the grass. Instead, it's 2-2. Takes a practice cut, now back into the box. The 2-2 swung on and missed, caught, foul tip. Dykstra snags it behind the plate, and that's 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. Jaden Melendez, the catcher, flew out his first time around. He's back for number 2. First pitch on the way from Wall. Right over that inside half of the plate. Again, that's been Wall's favorite spot to go to, especially on the first pitch of an at-bat today. That's strike 1. Melendez, a big stretch in the feet in the righty batter's box. Not much room there. The 0-1 swung on and missed sharply. He's down 0-2. His back foot is in this back inside corner of the box. His front foot almost at the front of the box, slightly back. Swinging the brown bat. The 0-2 falls just off the plate. A nice hold from Melendez, and it's 1-2. Jaden Melendez, the Pitt Panther. Wall delivers. It's popped up towards right field. Underneath it, Enzo Apodaca camped out, makes the grab. 3 gone. Wall has allowed just 1 hit, but it was a monster home run from Aiden Miola. And finally, we have numbers on the board. It's 1-0 Chatham as we head to the top of the 6th. You're listening to YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Top of the 6th, YD back at the plate. It's Brady Day leading off. Facing a deficit for the first time, Chatham leads 1-0 after the home run off the bat of Aiden Miola. Jack Seppings came in relief in the top of the 5th through just 2 pitches to retire the last out of the inning. The first pitch on the way to Brady Day falls away for ball 1. Seppings is on the Great Britain national team. A rare international player. The 1-0 swung on sharply, grounded towards the YD dugout. The sun has set, the lights are on. Just an hour of game time already in the top of the 6th. This one could set a new record for game time this season. Evenly spaced infield for Brady Day. Outfield playing at depth. Counts 1-1. The pitch on the way. Check swing popped foul, and it's 1-2. Day taps the plate, steps back into the lefty box. Seppings with the glove on the hip. Now set at the shoulders. Out of the stretch, the 1-2 on the ground towards second. Martin Grudzelanek, another 4-3 putout. That's been the most common one today for the Anglers. And Day, a well-hit ball on the ground, can't find a gap, and that's 1 up, 1 down. Hunter Hines was intentionally walked his last time around. It loaded the bases, and YD left him stranded. This time facing a new pitcher for the first time. The kick and deal. A fastball at the top of the zone is strike 1. Hines moved the shoulder slightly but held back. Circling the bat a couple of times. The lefty wiggling it straight up. Seppings set at the letters. He delivers. This time below the knees, it's 1-1. Evenly spaced infield, outfield basically at the wall, just in front of the warning track. The kick and deal swung on and missed. It's 1-2. A nice breaking ball. Had a lot of speed on it, fell below the zone. And Hines went chasing. Now down in the count. Seppings, the deep breath. The 1-2 swung on, fouled back into the backstop. Just got a piece underneath it. And Hines lives to see another day. 1 gone in the top of the 6th. YD facing a 1-0 deficit. At Veterans Field, a beautiful, clear night, luckily enough. Rare to come by in this neck of the woods. Another 1-2. Inside, Hines jumps out of the way. It's 2-2, count evens up.
Yeah, they haven't played a full 9-inning game here since July 1st. I mean, that's just crazy. It's been almost 2 weeks. Fog all over the place here at Veterans Field normally.
The 2-2 check swing falls outside, and Hines has the count full. He's shown a lot of discipline at the plate this season, doing it right now after falling behind in the count. The first team All-SEC selection out of Mississippi State did so as a designated hitter his sophomore year. The payoff from Seppings. Swung on and missed. Hines goes down swinging for out number 2. He's been a strikeout heavy hitter when he's not going for power. Does it again. And Seppings retires the most dangerous bat in the YD lineup. Now Xander Darby trying to do his best to start a rally for the Red Sox. Another lefty in this lefty-heavy lineup, sporting as always the royal blue accessories, representing UC Santa Barbara. First pitch on the way below the knees for ball 1. The Gaucho has been heating up as the season goes along. Joined YD in late June. Since then, has been a regular in the lineup, especially over at third. Counts 1-0, 2 gone. Pitch on the way, swung on and missed. Foul tip caught in the glove. It's 1-1. Seppings brushes some dirt on his hand. Glove at the hip, now set at the letters. Darby wiggling the bat slightly. The 1-1 falls off the plate. Melendez can't frame it up. 2-1. Darby has 1 home run on the season. Likes to put it on a line. As ball 3 falls below the knees, he wisely holds off, and he has a hitter's count. With Jacob Jenkins Coward on deck if it gets there. If anything, the crowd has only grown here. It's a very lively atmosphere on this beautiful July evening. 3-1 with 2 outs. The pitch below the knees, but called strike 2. And some oohs from the crowd, as I'd say 99% of the people here thought that was ball 4. Instead, the count runs full.
Darby thought it was. He tossed the bat. He might have given an apology there to home plate umpire Mike Griffin.
And Coach Pickler wants a meeting with Darby. I don't know if Melendez framed that up really nicely for Griffin, but that ball was really, really low. Quick break in the action.
Yeah, Pickler might just be giving Xander Darby a second here after something like that where you toss the bat aside. It can be a bit flustering, and pitcher can come back and just blow the next pitch right by you if you're not heavily focused. And so Pickler might have just wanted Xander Darby to take a second, recollect himself, and zone back in on this at bat. Important pitch coming up.
Taps the dirt, swings the bat below the knees. Now he's set in the stance. The payoff popped into right field. Coming in on it, McDonald makes the grab, had a bit of a run, but that ball was skied, gave him enough time to get over there, and that retires the side. YD is scoreless. Through 6, the score is 1-0 Chatham. As we go to the bottom of the 6th, it's Perri, Kitei, and Luke West Poley on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Derek Fabian at the plate leading off for the A's in the bottom of the 6th. The first pitch on the way from Finnegan Wall is spiked in the dirt, gets to the backstop. Wall is back out for his 6th inning. We haven't seen a lot of starting pitchers go through 6, but with the pitch count still under 60, fewer than 10 pitches per inning. The 1-0 is lined into the net on the right side. It's 1-1. Fabian 0 for 1 today. He had a pop-up caught in foul territory.
Broke his bat.
He had a nice pink bat. We've seen that. Will King had a similar one before his exit to go to the big leagues. Well, not quite yet, but the organization. Fabian walking back up to the plate. This bat is tan and black with some green decals. Counts 1-1, nobody gone. He's set in the stance. The pitch, check swing on the ball that drops just inside. It's 2-1. Finnegan Wall taking his time, milking the pitch clock into the wind. The 2-1 almost hits him, a dramatic turn away. And it's 3-1. Fabian dancing around the ball in the righty box. The 3-1 smash into right field. Enzo Apodaca going back to the wall, and it bounces right in front of it. That'll spell extra bases at the warning track. Apodaca collects, and Derek Fabian shrugs his shoulders with the leadoff double for the Anglers.
And the second time we've seen a barrel off of Finnegan Wall, but it's the second time now in the last 2 innings. Don't know if maybe he's running out of gas. If he could collect an out, that would be a season high of innings pitched. His pitch count, like you've mentioned, is still pretty low at just 63, but don't imagine we see him go too much longer here.
I thought that ball was out of here for sure. It bounced at the warning track off the wall in the air. Really well hit ball. Finnegan Wall checks on the runner. First pitch is a bunt shown, but pulled back by Casarilla. 1-0 with a runner on second. No outs, bottom of the 6th. The corners are pinched in the bunt defense for YD. The middle infield evenly spaced. The 1-0, a check swing at the shoulders. No bunt shown, but it's 2-0. Casarilla's 0 for 2 with a strikeout, swinging and a ground out. Taps the bag, swinging the bat in a couple of circles, now set in the righty box. Wall hanging the arm with the ball, now set at the letters, pickoff move towards second. Jackson jumping over, Fabian diving head first, he's in there safely. Yesterday, a pickoff move towards second was disastrous for the Red Sox in the 9th inning and allowed a runner on second to advance to third in the 9th. Ended up scoring to walk off the game. The 2-0 bunts shown again and laid down foul, 2-1. Casarilla offered at what likely would have been ball 3 at his shoulders, but was just really eager to lay it down and advance the runner, do his job as the sacrifice bunter. Instead, it puts him a little bit closer in the count. Waving the bat around, wiggling it up and down at his head. Bunt shown again. This time it is laid down up the first base line. The toss from Cook is in time today, but the runner advances. Casarilla does exactly what he's supposed to do. Really well placed bunt. He had a chance at running it out. But Day, nice coverage from second, and Fabian is on third.
Yeah, I like the decision to go with the bunt there. Base runners have been hard to come by. Runners in scoring position have been hard to come by. And also, haven't really seen much pressure put on the defense by either team. A lot of the plays we've seen made out in the field have been pretty routine. That time they couldn't beat it out, but it required YD at least to make a nice play. And now you've got an insurance run just 90 feet away as the infield comes in for the Red Sox.
Caden Keno for 2. First pitch to him outside. Pickoff move from Dykstra. A laser, but Fabian was just a couple steps off the bag, and he's back safely. It's 1-0. The infield is in for YD, protecting the bag with everything they have. At the edge of the infield, Wall is set. The 1-0 falls away. It's 2-0.
Wouldn't mind maybe pitching around this hitter a little bit, set the double play up, see if you can maybe get a chase here and get a free out. But if you don't get it and you walk him, it's not a huge deal.
The 2-0 at the bottom of the zone, nicely framed by Dykstra. It's 2-1. Just 83 miles an hour on the off speed. Kent leans back, waves it below his knees a couple of times, now set. The lefty facing the righty pitcher. The 2-1 roped foul towards the right side, and it's 2-2. Fabian eager to go from third, but a small lead. Kent taking his time and now stepping back into the box. Wall motionless, set. Glove at the shoulders, now down to the waist. The 2-2 hit foul the exact same way. Gets through a gap in the fence of the dugout. I think everybody in there avoided it. count remains the same for the lefty out of Texas A&M. The batter calls time. He's swiping around the dirt in the box with his feet. Wall looked ready to go. As soon as he receives the pitch, he's immediately set. Has never been threatened by this pitch clock, really, and Chatham, one of the few fields that actually has the pitch clock up on the scoreboard for everyone to see. Kent set back in the box. Wall into the wind, delivers off the plate. The count runs full.
Yeah, Wall's been working quickly all game, and he's throwing oftentimes with still 11, 12, even 13 seconds left on the pitch clock out of his allotted 20.
The payoff, hit into center field, sprinting in. The diving catch is not made. Fabian will score from third. He tagged up, but it wasn't necessary. Paxton Kling came sprinting in. The outfield was playing very deep, and with the shallow infield, there was no chance at that ball. He went for the hero play. Would have been a tough out at the plate. Regardless, Chatham extends the lead 2-0.
Yeah, Kling got a late jump there. Didn't see that ball off the bat, and so there was just a split-second delay from him out in center, and that ball was deposited just shallow enough that because of that hesitation, he would have had to dive to make that grab and had to play it on the hop. And that's a big, big run for Chatham. The way this game has gone, that second run proves to be very, very huge. Wouldn't be surprised if that comes into play later on in this game.
Wall still working. Schubert goes after the first pitch in fair territory, but drops just feet foul of the right side pole. That could have been a triple if it stayed fair. Instead, forced to retreat to the bag. That looked really dangerous off the bat, Luke.
Yeah, that was right up the line, and just grit your teeth and hold your breath, waiting to see which side of the line that one falls on. Could have really gone either way, but to the pull side, YD gets a good break as that just ended up to the right of the line. Like you said, that was probably a triple if it drops in fair territory.
0-1, the pitch just off the plate. Count evens up 1-1. That was a really nice pitch from Finnegan Wall. Something that could have gone either way, but Schubert holds off wisely, and the count evens up. A small lead from Kent over at first. Cook right there on the bag, the 1-1 in the dirt and away. A nice grab from Dykstra behind the plates, 2-1. The infield is evenly spaced on the edge of the grass. The outfield a couple of feet in front of the warning track. Wall set at the shoulders. He kicks and deals. Swung on and missed. It's 2-2. Kent over on third retakes his lead just a couple of steps. Crouched over, ready to go. Schubert wiggling the bat in the lefty box. Wall fires, swung on and missed. A very important strikeout for out number 2. As Chatham continues to threaten, that one was huge.
Yeah, Finnegan Wall has really rebounded well from the very little adversity he's had to face, but each run that Chatham has scored has felt like a big one in this game, and I think Wall has come back to the next batter and really pitched some of his best ball of this game, immediately following runs that he's given up. And that was a really nice strikeout and an important one to get the second out.
First pitch on the way to Trace Wilhoit falls in the dirt for ball 1. Wilhoit 0 for 1. He walked and lined out to Xander Darby at third. It shot off the bat, but Darby majestically snagged it out of the air. Counts 1-0 with 2 gone. Runner on first. Wall throws down the heart of the plate, strike 1. The flag in center field is waving out. The wind could help any of these carry if they're hit well enough in the air. The 1-1. Just inside. And the count's 2-1. Will Hoyt, one of the more recent additions to the Anglers lineup out of Lipscomb. Wall delivers, it's swung on and missed. The tip is caught by Connor Dykstra. It's 2-2. Dykstra has done a really good job defensively behind the plate today. 2 outs on caught foul tips. A slightly bigger lead now from Kent at first. We haven't seen a pickoff attempt. Wall winds, delivers. A called strike 3, just kisses the outside corner. The plate casually walks back to the dugout after going a moderately successful 6 innings. He allowed 3 hits. We'll see if he returns in the 7th. Meanwhile, we head to the top of the 7th. It's 2-0 Chatham. They added 1 in the 6th, 1 in the 5th. You're listening to YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network.
Top of the 7th inning here from Chatham. It's 2-0, the Anglers leading YD. Jacob Jenkins Cowart leads off for a Red Sox team that has seen just 1 hit so far, coming off the bat of Ryan Jackson. Jenkins Cowart on the day is 0 for 2. Seppings back on the bump for Chatham. Comes set exclusively out of the stretch with the front foot. He lifts it and deals. Sprayed up in the air, left side, and just out of play. It'll be 0-1 to Jenkins Cowart. Seppings came in to shut the door in the 5th. Got the last out there and worked his way 1, 2, 3 through the 6th. So far has 1 strikeout. Brown Bear through 3 2/3 has a 2.45 ERA. Here on Cape, late addition by Tom Holliday, now playing for Marty Lees and this Chatham Anglers group. 0-1 to Jenkins Cowart after the pause. The pitch, swing and a miss, 86 miles an hour. And over the outside half of the plate, Jenkins Cowart can't connect, and it's 0-2. Still 2-0 Chatham. Very crowded Veterans Field. Righty is warming up in the YD bullpen. Finnegan Wall up to 84 pitches through a season-high 6 innings. 0-2 to Jenkins Cowart. Just underneath the corner. Melendez tried his best to frame it and shovel it up to the bottom part of the zone, but the 83-mile-an-hour pitch just missed, and it's 1-2. Bases are empty, righty on lefty. Bouncing the front heel, Seppings brings the glove up and fires. And on a back foot breaking ball, taken for ball 2. Paxton Kling is on deck for YD. He's grounded out to second base twice. That's an area that has seen a lot of action for the Red Sox. You've had no shortage of balls in play, but just have not found a lot of gaps in the infield or outfield. 2-2 pitch to Jenkins Cowart. Swinging a foul tip that ends up at the backstop, and it's still 2-2.
Speaking of all those putouts over at second base, we've gotten really good at saying the name Martin Grudzelanek, which scared me a little bit coming into this game. That's definitely a tongue twister, but now it just feels like second nature.
There was an inning that he had 3 assists. All 3 of the outs came from him at second. Another 2-2 on the way. Swinging a chopper over to first, waiting back on it on the back heel. Will Hoyt has it and trots it over to the bag himself for the 3 unassisted putout. There's 1 gone in the 7th. YD down to their final 8 outs in this game. Paxton Kling provided a jolt to the offense yesterday. He's looking to do the same with the bases empty and 1 out. YD still trailing Chatham 2-0.
It doesn't feel like it, but this game is still close, and YD has been a late innings team this whole year. They've been a comeback team this whole year, so they absolutely should not be counted out yet.
The first pitch sails away for ball 1 to Paxton Kling. In the words of our team president yesterday, Paul Izzo, in the Cape League, games don't start until the 7th inning. 2 balls, no strikes to Paxton Kling, or I beg your pardon, 1 ball, no strikes in a 2-0 game. Now the pitch. Swinging a slowly hit ground ball, stumbling on the bump. It's chested down by Seppings. He recollects and fires to first to beat out Paxton Kling for out number 2. Quickly 2 gone for YD. Their last base runner came in the 3rd inning. Since then, it's been 11 straight batters retired. Casey Cook up to the plate, the lefty. Up with the bases empty, 2 away. Lights on in full force here in Chatham. Partly cloudy night, mostly clear. Here near the elbow of Cape Cod. Seppings adjusts the hat and climbs onto the rubber. Pitch clock at 10 with the glove at the shoulders. The first pitch. Popped up and foul behind home. It's out of play. Ryan Jackson, who has the only hit for YD, is on deck. Red Sox need a rally, and they need it now. 2 outs in the top of the 7th. YD got the first hit of this game. Chatham with the last 3, and they've scored the only 2 runs. 0-1. Sinks down low for ball 1. Ball and a strike on the 86-mile-an-hour pitch. Mike Griffin, home plate umpire, looked to his right as if to call a strike there, but decided that one missed just below the zone. Ball and a strike to Casey Cook. Look up into the night sky. Seppings deals. Called strike on the inner corner, knee high, and it's 1-2.
YD has not been shut out all year. They've been the best offense and the best pitching staff in the league overall all season. Today, that shutout threatens.
1 ball and 2 strikes. The pitch sinks in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. A long wait there before Mike Griffin, home plate umpire, decided on the call. Behind the plate, Jane Melendez was getting ready to throw it around the horn. 2-2. A look back towards center field by Seppings. Pitch on the way. Twirled foul. And we'll do it again. Count stays the same. Seppings out of the bullpen up to 32 pitches. Takes a second to adjust his glove before coming back onto the bump. With the ball in his right hand, he brings it behind the back. Bases empty, 2 gone in a 2-0 game led by Chatham. 2-2 pitch to Casey Cook incoming. And it sinks down low, ball 3. Full count. Casey Cook trying to start a 2-out rally for YD. Payoff. Just got a piece of it, and he stays alive as he spoils the 2-strike offering. Still 3-2. Just 1 appearance on the season. It was a start for Jack Seppings. This is his first appearance out of the pen. He went 3 2/3 in a 10-6 win against Harwich back on July 3rd, just over a week ago. Seppings shakes 1, nods on the 2nd. The 3-2 pitch. High for ball 4. YD's got their first base runner since the 3rd. It's Casey Cook, who works a 2-out walk. A nice at-bat for the UNC Diamond Heel. And now Ryan Jackson, who has the hit for YD, tries to collect his second of the day and keep this train moving for the Red Sox. Runner on first, 2 down, top 7. And it's Chatham 2 and YD nothing. Righty on righty. First pitch. Bounces in. Running to his left. It's picked up quickly by Melendez. He'll hold the runner on first, and it's 1-0.
Bit of a missed opportunity from Casey Cook. Melendez got to it quickly, but I think if Cook had the jump on it, he probably would have been safe at second. Just wasn't paying attention completely, maybe.
Pitcher has stopped throwing over in the YD bullpen. Looks to be ready to come out for the bottom of the 7th inning. 1-0 pitch to Jackson. Swing and a miss. He was out in front of it, 84 miles an hour. Ahead of the breaking ball there. The count is 1-1. Tying run is at the plate for YD. Ryan Jackson, not much of a home run hitter. A lot of contact for him. Sneaky pickoff move to first, but Casey Cook was ample to it. 1 ball, 1 strike to Ryan Jackson. The pitch puts the bunt up, and he pulls it back. The pitch misses away for ball 2. With Chatham infield, other than Will Hoyt on first, who's covering the bag, playing pretty deep, Ryan Jackson thought about maybe laying one down there, but he pulled it back. He's ahead in the count 2-1. The pitch, check swing foul. Pushed it into the screen on the right side, and it's 2-2 to the USC Trojan. Ryan Jackson, who's been solid through his first few games in YD, looking to provide a signature moment here in the top of the 7th. Sepping's trying to get out of this. The 2-2 pitch. Swinging another foul behind home. Backspin just took that one behind the plate. Count remains the same to Jackson. Runner on first, 2 outs. YD trailing by a pair. Chatham with 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th. We were scoreless through 4.5. Red Sox still looking for that second hit. 2-2 pitch. Swing up the middle. It's off the wrist there of Seppings. He recollects, throws a rainbow to first, but it's in time. And that retires the side. Time for the 7th inning stretch here in Chatham. The YD Red Sox still trailing the Chatham Anglers by a 2-0 score. We'll return to Chatham in just a moment. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Blake Ida takes over on the mound in the bottom of the 7th inning here for YD, trailing by a pair against Chatham. Ida takes over for Finnegan Wall, who truly had a strong performance on the mound. His offense just hasn't really picked him up. Just one hit through 7 innings for YD and no runs. Get to Wall's final line in just a second, but Zach McDonald is at the plate. And the first pitch to him on the way. Takes a check swing and a pitch that misses inside for ball 1, and immediately Connor Dykstra out to talk to his pitcher.
Number 27, Blake Aida, now pitching for YD.
So Finnegan Wall finishes with 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 1 walk, and 7 strikeouts. Again, a really strong outing from the right-hander out of UC Irvine. Just hasn't had the run support that he's needed, and he's in line for the loss in this game. Ball and no strikes to Zach McDonald. The Miami Red Hawk is 0 for 2. Pair of strikeouts, 1 each way for him so far. The 1-0. Takes a strike in the outer corner, a breaking ball, and it's 1-1. Yesterday, McDonald was 1 for 4, blasted a home run over the center field fence. As the 1-1 pitch comes in. Check swing, and he holds off. Pitch misses outside, 2-1. It was in a 7-5 loss to the Bourne Braves. Comeback effort that fell short for Chatham. 2-1 pitch. This one is launched center field, backing up on it. Paxton Kling at the wall, and it's gone. Zach McDonald goes yard for the 2nd time in as many games for Chatham. It's a solo shot to lead off the 7th inning, and it's 3-0 Anglers.
Their office is located on Depot Road, just beyond the center field fence. The Mountain Boys pretty picky team, everything you
I know we're the YD broadcasters, but Luke, as a Miami guy, I know you're just a little bit happy to see your guy succeeding at the highest level of summer collegiate baseball. And man, that ball was crushed deepest part of the ballpark. 385 feet out there in dead center. That one went at least that. Paxton Kling ran over on it.
Called my fair share of Zach McDonald home runs, but that certainly was a sight to behold. Aiden Miola at the plate.
The other home run hitter of the day.
Pitch on the way, and that's in there for strike 1. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count as the first pitch missed from Blake Ida. He's one of the top sluggers in the Miami lineup this season for the Red Hawks. The 1-1 pitch breaks in there for strike 2. It was a Miami team that hit a good amount of home runs this year. 1-2 pitch. Just misses up and in, 2-2. So it's 3-0 Chatham. 2 solo home runs as the 2-2 pitch comes in, and it sails high, 3-2. One from this guy at the plate right now, Aiden Miola, who's 1 for 2. The other from Zach McDonald. Derek Fabian hit a double in the last inning, and he was brought in on an RBI single from Caden Kent following a sacrifice bunt. 3 balls and 2 strikes the count with the bases empty and nobody out. And pitch. Swing and a miss. He went reaching and was way out in front of the breaking ball in the dirt. That's a strikeout for Blake Ida, and he bounces back following the deep fly. 1 out for Bryce Martin Grizzolonic.
A bit of a lucky break for Blake Ida. That ball was nowhere close, but Ada Miola was just hungry for another hit, and he went chasing.
First pitch to the righty, swing and a miss. Brought the fastball by him there for strike 1. Martin Grizzolonic is 0 for 2. Fielder's choice and a strikeout for him, the 0-1 pitch. And he takes one down near home, 1 ball, 1 strike. He is also making his debut, plays at USC. 1 ball, 1 strike, the pitch. In there for strike 2.
Collegiate teammates of YD's Ryan Jackson.
Artie Lee's apparently bringing in a couple more USC Trojans in as well as the 1-2 sails outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lee's has been actively recruiting new members to this Chatham team as they look to turn things around under their new acting manager. Some Trojans going to be a part of that. The 2-2. This one hit pretty well out towards center. Backing up on it, Paxton Kling at the warning track has the room and makes the catch. And there are 2 gone. Ball that looked like off the bat it was going to stay in the yard. It was pretty close to getting out, though, in right center. This park has a pretty dramatic change in distance from the lines to center field. 2 gone. Jaden Melendez, who's 0 for 2 at the plate. The first pitch, he takes a big hack and a miss at the fastball. 4 strike 1, he comes up empty. 3-0, Chatham leads. A run in each of the last 3 innings for the Anglers. 0-1. Breaking ball waited on, rolled over towards third. Darby waited back on it, pumps once, and throws in time to get the out. So 1-2-3 following the home run, but Zach McDonald's second deep fly in just 2 games as a member of the Anglers tacks on another for Chatham. It's 3-0 as we head to the 8th inning. YD down to their final 6 outs. It's Dykstra, Apodaca, and Day. 9-1-2 due up when we return. And you're listening to YD Red Sox Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Connor Dykstra leads off in the top of the 8th inning for YD. 3-0 is the score with Chatham out in front. Jack Seppings returns to the bump for YD. Connor Dykstra has been hit by a pitch once as the first pitch comes in, and it clips the top of the zone for strike 1. He struck out in his last at-bat. That came as part of a 1-2-3 fifth. Red Sox with no runs off, 1 hit coming from Ryan Jackson. 1-1 pitch, fouled back, and it's 1-2. Seppings has been dealing so far through 2 1/3, 27 strikes on 44 pitches. Infield playing back on Dykstra. The 1-2. Grounder over to short, waiting back on it. Babian throws over to first and secured by Will Hoyt for out number 1.
Aside from the 1 hit from Ryan Jackson, none of these has even been close. So many of these balls from YD have stayed in the infield as well. Very few have even gotten to that outfield grass. The pitching from Chatham has been phenomenal, but YD is an offense that for 2 days now has been completely stagnant, very unexpectedly.
Just 3 flyouts to the outfield for YD so far. Manager is out of the dugout, and the ball has been taken from Jack Seppings, and so that will be the end of his day after he threw 45 pitches. And he will exit here with 1 out in the 8th. YD is down to their final 5 outs as Chatham will turn it over to a lefty. And we'll tell you who it is when we come back. It's 3-0 Anglers. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. The Armor Dennis Red Sox want to thank Cape Cod Veterinary Specialists for sponsoring this broadcast. Cape Cod Veterinary Specialists provide premier emergency and specialty care for your beloved companions. They are located in Dennis and Buzzards Bay and are open 24 hours a day. Enzo Apodaca up to the plate. Base is clear, 1 out, top of the 8th inning. And the new pitcher on the bump is the lefty, Gavin Brasowski, out of Kansas. From the line, the first pitch to the lefty is jammed over into left field. That's going to drop for a base hit. So they bring in the new arm, and YD immediately takes advantage. Just the second hit of the day for the Red Sox comes off the bat of the man at the top of their order, Enzo Apodaca. He improves to 1 for 3 on the day. And now Brady Day strides up to the plate. He is 0 for 2. Another lefty on lefty, hanging the arm. Brasowski sets, lifts the knee and fires. Up and in for ball 1. Brasowski played his freshman year at the University of Tennessee, did not give up an earned run, but only pitched 4 1/3 innings for the Volunteers during the 2022 spring. 1-0 pitch. Drops down low for ball 2. He's got a lot of teammates from a variety of locations, native of Kalamazoo, Michigan. Played last summer for his hometown team, the Kalamazoo Growlers in the North Woods League. 2-0 pitch. Bunt is squared, and it's popped foul, 2-1. He was teammates in Kalamazoo with Zach McDonald, who's in the batting lineup for Chatham. Also a new addition to this team. Another native of Kalamazoo. And also was high school teammates at Portage Central with Luke Leto, who was signed to play with YD this year, but is instead playing in the Appalachian League with the Burlington Sock Puppets. Runner on first as a pickoff move comes over. That's one of my favorite names in all of summer ball.
Yeah, the Burlington Sock Puppets. Why not?
2 balls and 1 strike. Brady Day took 2 pitches and bunted foul. A runner is on first in a 3-0 game, led by the Anglers. The pitch comes in on the hands for ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike. 2 free bags issued, 2 walks, I should say, with 1 hit by pitch issued by Chatham pitching so far. 3-1 pitch. Called strike on the outer corner, and the count is full. Brady Day trying to come up with the clutch hit. A home run could put YD within 1. Had a home run 2 nights ago. Future Atlanta Brave sees the 3-2. Off the plate, ball 4. Flips the bat over towards his own dugout, trying to fire his guys up, and with 1 out, YD may be threatening a little here as Brady Day walks for the second time. They're on first and second, and the tying run coming to the plate by way of Hunter Hines. He has been on base once. That was when he was intentionally walked in the 3rd. Outside of that, he's 0 for 2. A strikeout his last time up. A flyout prior to that. Melendez comes out from behind the plate to go up to the mound and talk to his pitcher.
It seems like Chatham's bullpen has been on a strict pitch limit because Seppings was doing really, really well, and he got pulled in the middle of an inning unexpectedly. I think Chatham would regret it if that decision comes back to bite them. Same thing from their starter. Ben Peterson had a good outing too. He was pulled for Seppings. Seppings only went about 40 pitches.
So the pitcher-catcher conference has ended. Just 7 pitches so far from Brasowski. YD is down to their final 5 outs in this game, but the tying run is at the plate by way of Hunter Hines. First and second, neither runner being held on. First pitch to Hunter is a called strike at the top part of the zone, 0-1. Hines with 30 ribbies this year, 9 home runs, including a grand slam his last time he was here at Veterans Field. Boy, could YD use something like that, some similar magic here in the late innings. 0-1, slides away, a ball and a strike. Nothing to swing at there for Hunter in the other batter's box. He did move his hands, but held up at a pitch that was far and away from the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lefty coming from the stretch. Brasowski takes a look back at second, now home. And he deals. Fastball in on the hands. Hines flinches a bit at it and takes ball 2. Brasowski, the Kansas Jayhawk, repping the red and blue here in the summer as well. The 2-1 pitch drops low for ball 3, and now the YD dugout is starting to gain some energy. They're getting loud on the right side. It's 3 balls and 1 strike to Hunter Hines. This was the exact count that Hines hit the grand slam on the last time the Red Sox were here. See if he gets anything to hit. (3-1). Ball 4. Missed upstairs. Maybe one he could have swung at, but not a great pitch to hit, as it did indeed miss the zone. It's back-to-back walks issued by Brasowski, and the bases are loaded with 1 out for an 0-for-3 Xander Darby. And here comes Marty Lees out of the dugout for Chatham. They're going to call their bullpen again. So Brasowski goes just a couple of batters and gets pulled. And it'll be another righty taking to the mound to face off against Xander Darby, potentially followed by Jacob Jenkins Cowart. This game ain't over. Top of the 8th and 1 out. YD trailing 3-0, but they've got the bases loaded. We'll be back in a moment from Veterans Field as we step aside. You're listening to YD Red Sox Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Top of the 8th inning with 1 out. It's a 3-0 game. Chatham leading YD, but the Red Sox have the bases loaded. And Marty Lees, the skipper for the Anglers, turns things over to Aiden Jimenez. He's been a shutdown guy out of the bullpen this season. The Oregon State Beaver comes in with an ERA of 3.17 across 3 bullpen appearances. 2 of his 3 appearances on the season have been shutouts, and his one that wasn't, he got a winning decision against Harwich. Late addition has pitched 3 times over the last 2 weeks for the Anglers, and he will come in to face off against Xander Darby with the bases loaded and 1 out. Feels like this may be the best chance for YD, and the Red Sox are going to run Connor O'Hara at first base, the pitcher, if the PA announcement is correct. Regardless, they're loaded as Hunter Hines is out of the game. The first pitch to Darby dives down and in for ball 1. And one thing that Jimenez has been very good about this season is limiting his walks. He's dealt out just 1 in 5 2/3 innings of work. 1-0 count to Darby. The pitch off the bottom of the bat, foul. Behind home plate, he bumped it, and it's 1-1. No runners being held on with the bases loaded. YD only with 2 hits in this game. 1 in this inning from Enzo Apodaca. The 1-1. Sinks down the heart of the plate for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Xander Darby. He's 0 for 3. Has put all 3 balls in play. A fly out to right, a pop out to short, and a fielder's choice on the day. The 1-2 pitch. Swinging a grounder over to second. The turn on to second for one, and the throw on to first is in time. It's a 4-6-3 double play, and that ends the threat. Aiden Jimenez comes in and shuts things down in the top of the 8th. YD had him loaded with one out and comes up empty. Still 3-0 Chatham. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. That's when we come back here on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Stay tuned. Anglers 3, Red Sox nothing. Last of the 8th here from Veterans Field. Poley with Perri, Kitei. YD with one of their best scoring threats of the game in the 8th inning. They've had the bases loaded now in the 3rd and 8th and have failed to score a run. Blake Guida returns to the mound. Derek Fabian at the plate. The 9-hitter sees the first pitch and takes inside for ball 1. Fabian has scored one of Chatham's 3 runs, the only that didn't come across on a home run. He's 1 for 2 with a double and a strikeout. This is the first he sees of Blake Guida, the 1-0. Called a strike waist high in the inner half, 1-1. 8 strikeouts total for YD pitching between Wall and Ida, the 1-1. Golf out of play on the right side, 1-2. Looking ahead to the 9th, it'll be Jenkins, Cowart, Kling, and Cook for YD. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. The knee lift and deal. Swing and a miss. An ugly looking swing there as Fabian reached way out for that one. Similar to the swing and miss that Aiden Miola had in the last inning. It's the 2nd strikeout for the Kennesaw State righty that turns the lineup over for Chatham. 1 out and the base is empty for Xavier Casarilla. Ida working relatively quickly here. The first pitch breaks into the top of the zone for strike 1 at the letters. 3-0 Anglers. Casarilla laid down a sac bunt back in the 6th that led to an eventual RBI single. 0-1 pitch. Sprayed out of play. 0-2 to Casarilla, the right fielder. Out of Seminole State, he digs back into the righty box. Ida winds and fires. Breaking ball gets all the way to the backstop. Casarilla moved his hands but held his swing, and it's 1-2. Taps the plate, twirls the bat, and he's back in. Glove over the face for Blake Guida. He nods, winds, and throws. Reached for and poked out of play. Foul behind home. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Crowd has remained here in pretty much full capacity for Chatham. Not many folks have gone home. They're sticking it out here through the late innings in a good game. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Another one at 77 miles an hour that produced an ugly-looking swing as Casarilla was way in front of the breaking ball. And it's back-to-back strikeouts for Blake Ida. Now the YD pitching staff into double digits. That's 10. 2 gone and the base is empty for Caden Kent. He had an RBI single his last time up. Brought in Chatham's 2nd run. 2nd of 3, YD, in a 3-run hole. First pitch to the lefty. He lifts it in the air. Center field coming over from left center where Paxton Kling was positioned. Now in straightaway, he stops and makes the grab. Side retired. So Chatham goes 1-2-3, 2 strikeouts and a flyout, and it is all up to the YD Bats heading to the top of the ninth. They'll need at least 3 when we return. Jenkins, Cowart, Kling, and Cook due up when we come back. Crunch time for the Red Sox. You're listening to YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Top of the ninth inning here from Veterans Field. Jacob Jenkins Cowart leads off for YD. It's 3-0 Chatham out in front. Jenkins Cowart is 0 for 3. Jimenez back on the bump, pitching with clear bases for the first time. The first pitch to Jenkins Cowart misses underneath the zone at 89 miles an hour for ball 1. Oregon State Beaver comes out of the wind for the first time with the bases clear. Wide gap in the middle of the infield for Jenkins Cowart, the 1-0 pitch. Off the end of the bat towards short, charging in on it. Fabian has it in the glove, throws on the run, and it's in time for out number 1. YD down to their final 2 outs. Paxton Kling looking to start this 9th inning rally. Kling is 0 for as many of these YD bats are. The only guys with hits in the lineup are Ryan Jackson and Enzo Apodaca. Kling is 0 for 3. 3 groundouts, 1 to the pitcher, 2 to second base. First pitch to the righty. Right down the middle for strike 1 at 91 miles an hour. Kling steps out for a moment, looks over at Scott Pickler, just a nod. All his field manager gives him, he's back in. No balls and a strike. The pitch breaks right down the heart of the plate again for strike 2, 84 miles an hour. No balls and 2 strikes. YD needs 3. Rallied with 1 out in the last inning before grounding into a double play to end the side. No balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Broken bat, chopper over the mound, coming a long way in on it. Fabian throws on the first. He tripped, and he lost the ball. Tumbled over on the grass right behind the pitcher's mound. The bat exploded for Paxton Kling, and he's safe at first. We'll see how they score it. But regardless of scorers' decisions, that's exactly what you need from YD. Got to take advantage now. Casey Cook coming to the plate with a runner on first and 1 out. The tying run on deck now for YD.
That bat fell into a million pieces, and I think it made it a little bit harder to see the ball. It took a couple of odd bounces as well. With the pieces of the bat flying all around, it was a tough play to make, but it was scored as an error.
First pitch to Cook, dives low for ball 1. Cook walked his last time up. That was in the 7th with 2 outs. Gave YD their first base runner since the 3rd. The Red Sox did not have any in the middle innings. 1-0 pitch. Chopper, first base side, coming in on it. Will Hoyt runs over and applies the tag on Casey Cook for out number 2. Runner moves from first to second. That was Will Hoyt's only play, and runner on second doesn't really matter a whole lot for Chatham, as YD will still need 2 more behind him to contend in this game. Red Sox are down to their final out. A runner on second with 2 away in a 3-0 game. And a pinch hitter comes in for Ryan Jackson. Max Vieira will hit for him. The shortstop out of Seton Hall will hit for Jackson, who finishes the day 1 for 3.
Not surprising, Coach Pickler loves to go to pinch hitters in clutch situations. This is a Will King situation if there ever was one, and I think YD is really missing Will King's bat.
First pitch to Vieira is a strike called on the inner corner. 0-1. Vieira working from the back of the righty box. 0-1 pitch on the way. Zips into the low part of the zone for strike 2, and the Red Sox are down to their final strike. Runner on second, 3-0 game. Chatham leading. No balls, 2 strikes. And pitch. Just high, 1-2. Tough hold there for Vieira, but it was the right call to get ball 1. 1-2 the count. Pitching out of the stretch. Jimenez set from above the belt. He fires. Swinging a foul tip, and that one ends up in the dirt. No squeeze from Melendez, and so for the moment, the Red Sox are still alive. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Vieira. Crowd growing restless here, clapping their hands, wanting that strike 3. The pitch. Swing and a miss, and the ball game is over. Chatham pitches a gem, and the Anglers 3-hit the Red Sox and win it 3-0. Your final score from Veterans Field as the Anglers finally get over the hump and win a close one over YD. The Red Sox drop their 2nd straight for the first time in a long time, and YD will look to rebound tomorrow. Perri, this is a game now on the 2nd straight night where the YD pitching staff has been pretty strong for the most part, I think, especially so today. We saw just 4 hits on the Chatham side of things. It was unfortunate that 3 of them went for extra bases, but still this YD pitching staff did a good job of limiting activity on the base paths for the 2nd straight day. The offense didn't really pull its weight in this one.
It's surprising, to say the least. Allowing 4 hits, yes, they were solid contact. Yes, 2 of them were home runs. That's never a good sign, but YD pitching has been reliable all season, and they were tonight. This is the first time YD has lost 2 games in a row since early June. They have just been an unbelievable comeback team, but tonight, shut out for the first time. A team that, as I said a couple of minutes ago, is absolutely missing the bat of Will King, who was top 5 in the league in average. Max Vieira wasn't in the lineup until that last at-bat today. They're missing the bat of RJ Austin, who's been out with injury for a couple of games now. Hunter Hines didn't have the best day, also was intentionally walked. And those are the guys that you rely on in these situations. So YD certainly has a lot of reflecting to do. With this kind of performance 2 days in a row, it's not very encouraging, but tomorrow they're back at home where they've been really, really strong to face off against Brewster.
And so the winning pitcher in this one will be Jack Seppings, who went 2 2/3 in relief. The losing decision goes to Finnegan Wall. It's been tough for him. He picks up his 2nd loss of the year, and not necessarily his fault by any means. Finnegan had a pretty strong day in 6 innings, a 3-hit ball, but did not get the run support he was looking for. This game lasted just 2 hours and 10 minutes, as it was the shortest game we've seen all season. YD shutout for the first time all year. We'll be back on the air tomorrow, 4:45 start. Our pregame show on the socials, as always, as the Red Sox host a struggling Brewster Whitecaps squad at Red Wilson Field, a Brewster team that dropped a 7-3 decision to the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Good news for YD is that Orleans is leading Harwich 12-0 in the top of the 9th. So as we've seen throughout this year, the Red Sox will not lose any ground on their lead atop the East Division. So at least that is fortunate for the Red Sox. They will stay 2.5 games up, barring anything miraculous at the end of the night. Should be noted that the initial Paxton Kling error that was ruled off the play was switched. It is now called a single, so the final line score in this game sees no runs off 3 hits, no errors for YD. And they left 8 batters on base. And for Chatham, They had 3 runs off 4 hits, no errors, and left just 2 men on. We'll be back on the air tomorrow, as mentioned, 4:45 start as the Red Sox take on the Brewster Whitecaps. We hope you will tune in then. So, until tomorrow, for Perri, Kitei, our entire crew here at the YD Red Sox, thanks so much for tuning in. Poley saying so long from Veterans Field. Final score, Chatham 3 and YD 0.